Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's a video that I saw, and I was like, I am definitely bringing this here because I really do want to hear from you because I know a lot of people have actually read this Bible in and out and all of that, and a lot of people really do. Some of you really do have a lot to say, or will definitely have something to say, and I'll be reading your comments to know what you all have to say because I really do want to learn from this. And this video is actually talking about slavery, how Bible advocates slavery and all that. And he was like, a lot of people said that they do not trust the Bible because, like, it advocates slavery. And he was like, that in Exodus, that the Bible actually, like, that God actually helped slaves, like, to delivered slaves from slavery, right? And there was polygamy, there was rape, and there was and somewhat there was also murder recorded in the Bible, and that the Bible was not saying that all these were good. And he went further to say that there are some, like, in the that there are some prominent people that they were slave or that are slaves and all that. Like, you can also find a lawyer that is a slave, a doctor, and I know all these prominent men. And I am like, why would somebody, like, are you advocating or you are against? Because I really don't understand how you want to tell me that you can also be a lawyer or anything and still be a slave. I don't see the distance. Let's get into the video.
The reason you cannot trust the Bible is because it advocates slavery. Whoa, 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 whoa. Time out. The second greatest miracle of the Old Testament was what? The Exodus. What's happening in the Exodus? God is delivering the Hebrew slaves from slavery in Egypt. But there was slavery that was recorded in the Bible. Yes, that's right. There's slavery that's recorded. There's polygamy that's recorded. There's rape that's recorded. There's murder that's recorded. Never is the Bible saying these are good. Rather, the Bible is helping people living in a corrupt, depraved culture learn how to deal with it. Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. It says very clearly, if you kidnap someone and are caught with them in your possession, or having gotten rid of them and sold them, you must be put to death. You kidnap somebody and you're caught with them in your possession as your slave, or you've sold them to somebody else, you are to be put to death. When you get to the New Testament, you're in the Roman Empire, and over 50% of the people in the Roman Empire were slaves. Doctors were slaves, lawyers were slaves, business people were slaves. It was like indentured servants. Were some of those slaves mistreated? Tragically, yes. A lot of those slaves, though, were treated very respectfully. Now, when Paul says, slaves, obey your masters, what he's doing is he's not saying that slavery is good, but he is saying Christians do not follow Spartacus and cause a slave rebellion in the Roman Empire, because that's really going to mess things up. Instead, respect your masters, understand that freedom is best. And when you study the abolition of slavery around the world, usually it is motivated by followers of Christ, like Frederick Douglass here in the United States, who understood biblically all human beings are created in the image of God. Therefore, to enslave someone is absolutely evil. And they fought against slavery for the abolition of slavery, and they succeeded, because Jesus Christ and the Bible teach that no man, no woman is inferior to anybody else, because God created all of us in his image. The reason you cannot trust the Bible is because it advocates slavery.
Good for Cliff. Yeah, this is a good reason not to treat the Bible as if it is a consistent moral authority.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Time out.
Oh no, he's gonna disagree with that claim.
The second greatest miracle of the Old Testament was what? The Exodus. What's happening in the Exodus? God is delivering the Hebrew slaves from slavery in Egypt.
Yes, the Exodus story has been an inspirational story for many people who were slaves, but it's not an anti-slavery story. It's a nationalist story. God doesn't go in and free all the slaves from Egypt. God goes in and frees the people of Israel from Egypt. If my daughter ends up in jail and I go pay bail for her to get her out, I haven't said anything about the practice of putting people in jail. I've just gone and helped my daughter. Exodus says God helps the Israelites. Exodus does not suggest that God is opposed to slavery.
But there was slavery that was recorded in the Bible. Yes, that's right. There's slavery that's recorded. There's polygamy that's recorded. There's rape that's recorded. There's murder that's recorded. Never is the Bible saying these are good.
The Bible doesn't say anything because it's a collection of different books. But some of those books clearly do represent God as perfectly fine with slavery and polygamy and at times what we would call rape. That's just more reason not to treat the Bible as a consistent moral authority.
Rather, the Bible is helping people living in a corrupt, depraved culture learn how to deal with it.
Yeah, that idea is something he's just made up. It is not found in the Bible. When the Bible gives laws for how to be a slave owner, it's not assuming that it's a corrupt society that has slaves. That's just God's telling you how to be a slave owner.
Exodus chapter 21, verse 16, it says very clearly, if you kidnap someone and are caught with them in your possession or having gotten rid of them and sold them, you must be put to death.
Yeah, Exodus condemns taking people as slaves in the wrong way, but that presupposes that there is a right way to take people as slaves.
When you get to the New Testament, you're in the Roman Empire, and over 50% of the people in the Roman Empire were slaves. Doctors were slaves, lawyers were slaves, business people were slaves. It was like indentured servants.
No, actually the Roman Empire got rid of indentured servitude. They just had slaves.
A lot of those slaves, though, were treated very respectfully.
I mean, I think the many slave revolts under the Roman Empire suggest the slaves were not, happy in their positions. This is seriously giving, some slaves were happier vibes. Just stop that shit.
Now, when Paul says, slaves, obey your masters.
Yeah, that's Ephesians. It's probably not by Paul, but go on.
What he's doing is he's not saying that slavery is good, but he is saying Christians do not follow Spartacus and cause a slave rebellion in the Roman Empire.
Yeah, it's saying slaves should accept slavery.
Understand that freedom is best.
No, saying obey your masters is not saying understand that freedom is best. That's exactly what?
And when you study the abolition of slavery around the world, usually it is motivated by followers of Christ.
I mean, I suppose it would also be true that most slaveholders were also Christian. But to the extent that Christians came to oppose slavery, it was because they were able to renegotiate the meaning of the Bible or leave it behind as a simple moral authority.
Because Jesus Christ and the Bible teach that no man, no woman is inferior to anybody else because God created all of us in his image.
And here we see Cliff renegotiating the meaning of the Bible. Because it's really clear that whatever Christians took being created in the image of God to mean through most of Christian history, it wasn't incompatible with slavery. Look, are there good moral resources to be found in the Bible? Sure, but in order to get to them, you're going to have to recognize Christianity as an evolving tradition. One that goes well beyond the Bible and doesn't treat all parts of the Bible as if they are moral authorities simply to be directly applied to contemporary lives. So the vast majority of what Clift has said here is just bullshit. Jesus is disappointed. Do better.
So this is all I got from this video, and first of all, I am going to say that this is giving what Ron DeSantis talk like slavery benefited slaves, because he said that there were so many slaves, like the doctors, the lawyers, prominent people were slaves, right? So he is saying that you can be a slave too, but doing great for yourself, or it is okay to be slave, right? Or sometimes people that have prominent positions were or are slaves, I don't know how I feel about that, and it's not really going so good for me. And I think slavery, or trying to say that slavery, some people were actually happy being slaves. The reality is that I don't think anybody was ever happy being slave, because from what I saw and what I see, it was not a good thing being a slave, and people do not have their freedoms. People work tirelessly. People, so many things when were done to them, something that is not nice, but breaking were done to them. They took away their right, they took away their humanity, like, sorry, they took away their right, they took away their everything about them. So, him, I don't know why. I just do not understand it. God delivering these Hebrews from slavery and all that. It is not an anti-slavery story, and that is really what I feel like, And the slaves were not like freed and all that from Egypt, I really, I don't know, but like, I think it's really sad how some people really want to, I don't know, twist the Bible, or I don't know if it is their comprehension. But sometimes I feel like it is not comprehension because I don't understand how, I mean, just one book, we have different interpretation for different people or different, like, I thought we were supposed to, like, arrive at a particular meaning on some certain things, and trying to use Bible to twist my brain and all that mm-mm, is not it. So saying that slavery benefited, because this is what I'm saying, or you can be a slave and also have, you can be a slave and at the same time have something great going on for you, man. I don't know how this is because being a slave is not a good thing, and the people that were slaves did not enjoy it. So I don't see how people want to like connect this Bible and being slaves and all that. Him that is explaining this, has he ever been a slave? Does he know what it means to be a slave? Did he know what people that were slaves, what they went through? Did you see the video? Did you read through the history and all that to understand? I don't know. I don't know, really. But you know what? I want to know what you all think about this, because I know some people might have read this book in, out, and all that. I really want to know what you all think about it. But yeah, I really do not agree with some certain things he said. And that is just what I have to say. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.